This? It's all right. I'm very glad that that's now here from a distance, a still greater number of Americans than I ever had the pleasure of speaking to, of talking to during my visits to your country. Well, now what I'm to talk to you about. Of course, it's my own country, which is so little and what is worse, still so badly known all about the world. When Hungary is mentioned, then most people think of red pepper called paprika, of gypsy bands, of picturesqueness, of big plains with herds of cattle upon it, and semi-barbarous people to watch over all this. Now, as a matter of fact, we are quite on the same level of civilization as any Western country in Europe is. We may say that we are the farthest outposts of Western civilization toward the east. Our nation rendered to Europe, and especially to Central Europe, and to Western Christianity as a whole, the greatest possible services, making a firm stand for a century and a half against the invasion of barbarians, Tartars first, Turks afterwards, who threatened the then already existing treasures of civilization with destruction. Now we have been rewarded for all this by the Trianon Treaty, which took away from us 2/3 of our population. Hungary, who had been a country, a thriving country, I might say a powerful country, with 20 million of inhabitants, has been reduced in territory and has been reduced in number to somewhat over 80 million of inhabitants. And if you are told that these were alien races who have been made free by being severed from Hungary, then all I can answer is this. They never have been asked whether they are willing to be taken away from us. They were, as President Wilson put it, driven as so many cattle from one stable to another one. And as to the alien races, I can state that of the 14 millions of people who have been taken away from us, 3.5 million are Magyars, who have now been subjected to foreign dominion and who certainly feel it as a grievous injury done to them and are in a distressed state morally as well as economically. This is what I want to say you about my country. And the message which I send to you is this, that even in this our reduced state, even in this state of utter misery and dejection, we are mindful of our duties towards humanity, and here, taking part in the work of the League of Nations, we are doing our best in the interest of goodwill among the people and among nations. We don't expect to get our wrongs set right by new wars, which seldom lead to any resetting of justice, but only like playing at football with injustice. We seek it by the progress of human wisdom, of human goodwill. In our country, women's rights are in a much more advanced state of universal recognition than in most other European countries. Some women take an active part in politics. And to make that clear to you, I introduce to you a woman who is a fellow delegate of mine at the League of Nations Assembly, and she happens to be my wife, Countess Apponyi, who is also president of the National Council of Hungarian Women. My last message to you is this. If you hear Hungary mentioned, don't think only of all the picturesqueness which is talked about in connection with her, but think of her historic performances, think of the fearful struggle which a nation destroyed by the most iniquitous peace treaty that ever has been concluded has to achieve in order to preserve her national energies, in order to be able to perform other feats of intellectual advance and of moral strength on behalf of humanity, in order to fill the place in the world for which Providence has ordained her. That's why you still find me at the age of 83, in the middle of the contest, in the middle of the battle. I don't know how many years I may hold out still. That depends on God's mercy. But as long as there is any strength left in me, I shall not abandon the task, and so thinks every Hungarian. And now I say goodbye to you.